All right, everybody, welcome back to On the Glide Slope. Very short video today. Just getting back in the swing of things. Those who follow the blog and follow the channel know that I moved from the Philadelphia area to the Tampa area, and that some also may know that I had to evacuate with my family for Hurricane Irma. Everything's fine, but it hasn't made for a lot of time of video work, and I just got the sim up and running a couple of weeks ago and had a lot of travel and haven't been able to really spend any time in it, let alone make a video. But I thought we'd just do a quick video today. We're at Albert Whitted Field KSPG. This is where I'm training now in the real world, at least starting to. I've made one flight so far. It's a great strip in St. Petersburg, and there's an excellent scenery for it at the .Oregon X-Plane by Nicholas, who makes the NAPS software fields. And I'm modifying a little bit in WED. I'm on the field, so then there's more recent satellite imagery, so I'm just aligning some things and playing with it a little bit. But that's just here on my local PC. So I was thinking here we've got real world weather with the new XEnviro 1.07. It's been working great. And I thought we would just make a quick loop, take off on 1.8, and maybe fly out to the beach, come back, and then land. The Bravo shelf for Tampa is right above us, so in the real world we would take off, make a right-hand turn at 500 feet because the shelf here is 1,200 above us. Pattern altitude here is 800 feet. As soon as we are west of the field, then we have up to 3,000 feet, and then west of the beach it's up to 6,000. So we got to pay attention to altitude here, and other than that, let's just start getting ready to go. Now stand on the brakes. There we go. Avionics. All right, that's all good. And we will get ready to taxi and go where we're going to go. This is a Class Delta in the real world. We'd be calling for taxi. Instead here we'll just taxi out. In fact, let's just take up on 7, see what our MEDAR is. It's not reading the weather for me for some reason, but if it's current, 030 at 12. Ooh. So we'd probably take off on 07. So we're right here, so that's what we'll do. NAPS did a great job of replicating this strip, including the FBO over here that has a great restaurant. Got some Stutters there, which is called the Hangar, and it's a great place to eat. It's got excellent food. They also have the Goodyear blimp over here. We have to be careful not to run into it. But having some FIP problems. I think it's the USB hubs. I just replugged everything else into new hub locations. Hopefully that'll fix it. Boy, I gotta figure the source of those stutters out and get rid of that. That's terrible. I don't know what that is. That's unflyable. We'll find out if it continues. Is that crosswind? I don't know if that's loading scenery or what that is. That's horrible. Not had that problem in X-Plane. I just updated, so I hope that's not a function of the update. Real world, we would go up to 500 feet and make our right-hand turn. Our altimeter 2983. Avoid the Goodyear blimp. .500 feet, make our right-hand turn. Could be that it was loading some XEnviro weather in there. I don't know, but that's not going to make me happy. More stutters. Curious to see if it goes away if I turn off XEnviro. But we'll play with that another time. .800 feet. This is where we'll level off. Sun's starting to go down here. This is an excellent representation of the weather for what that's worth with the new XEnviro. If I look outside, it looks a lot like this. I'm not running out of GoPro juice here. We'll find out. Maybe we'll just make a quick loop and then go back and land again. Crosswind landing on 1.8. That'd be fun. The same folks who make the series of airports in this area, Nicholas, I think they're the same ones who made kind of a Central Florida scenery collection that has different stadiums and the like, including Tropicana Field, which is up here. Okay, well, I'm going to take a second to pause this, and we're going to load the other weather from X-Plane and see what we have and see if those stutters go away. Okay, we downloaded in X-Plane's weather. Not quite as pretty, but I have to say, stutters are gone. We have some rain. Well, stutters are back. Must be something else causing them. Maybe the new NVIDIA driver. Hard to say. Go back to X-Enviro and see if it's what we have. Okay, we switched back to X-Enviro, and why it's loading in here, because I still had some stutters, so it wasn't the weather engine doing it, something else is causing that. But while it's loading in here, we are out over St. Pete Beach. That's out where our practice area is. And if we were to be coming back to Albert Whitted, we'd be coming in, making our way down to 800 feet. I don't know, that stutter seemed a lot worse than it was otherwise. So we'll have to check it out. It could be it's a NVIDIA driver issue. But if we were coming in, good Lord, real world, be coming into about 800 feet. When I did this the other week in my first lesson out here, we had to keep our eyes open for an Apache helicopter taking off from Albert Whitted, which was awfully cool. And then for 1.8, you basically just split the difference, fly right between the towers of the St. Pete skyline on the one side and Tropicana Field on the other. There's Tropicana Field, there's the towers of St. Pete, there's our stutters. It's got to be an NVIDIA driver problem. Because one thing that's been a hallmark of X-Plane 11 for me is it's been smooth as silk. This is not. Okay, we're at 800 feet. Sometimes, now that I think of it, I've had this performance when Windows decides to update. So it's making a lot of network calls and downloading stuff in the background, and now that I think about it, this feels an awful lot like that. Given that the PC's been off for 2 weeks, I wouldn't be surprised if when I boot up next time it tells me that I've got that going on. Okay, field's right in front of us. We're going to be joining a right downwind for 1.8. Tropicana Field is coming up on this side of us here, where the Tampa Bay Rays play. Watch our altitude here. And we're going to fly right between them, it, and downtown. And then there's a landmark for making the base turn, a water tower that I actually can see if I don't put an ice pick into the side of my head from these stutters. but I can see the tower in the Google Maps, and it looks like it. I could see the tower in the scenery and the underlay. The what am I trying to say? The photorealism, and it actually renders it. It's right here, and that's at that tower we make our base turn. There goes Tropicana Field. Okay, we are at the numbers. We can cut our throttle. And that wind was coming, if this is realistic, from 030. So it's coming right on the nose. So this will be a relatively unsafe tailwind landing. And there are some cranes out there in the real world now, which I put in here also. And you have to go over the cranes, and you make your base turn about 500 feet. And then once you're over the cranes, base at 500, cranes at 400, and then you kind of slip in after that. So here's our base turn. There's the tower. There's more stutters. This has got to be Windows updating. Got to be. Right at 500 feet. Huh, look at that. Unbelievable. I'm glad I'm getting this on video because I want proof. Okay, speed's looking pretty good. About 80 knots. Forgot our flaps. There we go. Second notch. Start our turn now. Keep coming down. There are our cranes. We're 100 feet over the cranes, which we've got. Now we go final flaps, although I like 2 notches of flaps in the Cessna. Speed's good, 70 knots. Feel that wind working against me here. Bit of a tailwind landing. There we go. And the X-plane screeching tire sounds. There, and a freeze. All right, so that is a little trip around Albert Whitted. I haven't put the taxiway in here yet in my senior modification. So we'll just plow through the grass here. And we'll get to the bottom of those stutters. I have to believe it's a Windows update. It's the only time I've seen something like that. I don't think I have. I think I deleted this whole taxiway, but I kept the stripe. So we're not going to go anywhere fast here because it thinks we're on grass. Work in progress. I'll get this stuff straightened out, get to the bottom of the stutters, hopefully make another video in the next little while. In the meantime, as we bob along here, taxiing off-road, thanks to my senior modification. Thanks for watching on the glide slope, and a little bit of a comparison there between X-Enviro 1.07 weather and the weather from X-Plane. I do not believe the X-Enviro was the source of those stutters. Something else. So we'll get to the bottom of that, and I'll let you know what version of Windows Update was causing that when I get to the bottom of it. So that's it. Thanks for watching, and I hope to get back to more regular videos here soon. And if you have questions about the simulator, go to www.ontheglideslope.net. I have all your questions probably answered there, from PC configuration to how we get certain things to talk to each other, to dimensions for the basic schematics of the cabin itself. You can see I've got a taxiway back in place here. That's better. And it should have all the answers to the questions that you've got. If not, you can certainly post one in the comments. I'll try to get to it, but I don't have a whole lot of time for that. And there you go. Thanks again for watching on the glide slope. Oh, one of the things I'm going to put in here that isn't in the original scenery is this area over here is all paved in now, and there's a nice big compass rose over here, which is where you go to do your run-up. So we'll have that in the updated scenery as well, if I can get permission to post it. All right, everybody, thanks for watching.